Alright, some more Nostalgia Critic. Today we are going to be reacting to The Ring. Now, this movie I had seen with my friend. They invited me over, we all watched it, and I really enjoyed it. I kind of remember Ring 2. Not really, but Ring, the first one, obviously I paid attention to the movie throughout the whole thing, and at the end of the day, it was a very enjoyable time, so I'm kind of curious to hear what Doug has to say about it. But if you like this type of content, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. If you really do like Nostalgia Critic reactions, then definitely make sure you hit that like button. I'll post more as soon as we hit 50 likes on this video, so if you want to see it sooner, hit the like button and get me up to 50 likes as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and dive into the video, guys. I won't waste any more of your time, and here we go.
This episode brought to you by ExpressVPN. The best VPN there is. Take back your online privacy today. Check us out this weekend at Wizard World Chicago, booth 4403 and Artist Alley.
Nothing like channel awesome early in the morning.
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, nostalgia weed. When pumpkins fly and haunt your night,
I'm a cameo.
your little home turns green, your little face turns green.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit.
Every film, every show, every cloud has something knows. And all it takes is one itty bitty mistake. Look out, they'll haunt you too. Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, nostalgia weed. When ghosts come knocking at your door, badly written jokes and more. You better hope they won't be mean on nostalgia weed.
They normally, yeah, kill it with these openings. I mean, obviously they added a lot into this opening, like The Courage of the Cowardly Dog, with the house he was in, you know, Disney. I think this was like an old Disney cartoon where it was like Donald Duck or something with his nephews were doing Halloween, and I guess he would like stole their candy or something along those lines. I can't necessarily remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it. But they get a witch, the help of a witch, and they start like coming back at him. It's rather funny. Or he did something along the lines of like didn't give him candy for Halloween, like he kept all the treats to himself and all that stuff.
Hey, you ready to shoot the Ring review?
Yep, all costumed up.
I'm sorry, but what do pirates have to do with the ring?
I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
Well, at least we know you survived watching it.
Yeah,
Gorver
right. Last
Brinsky.
week when I put it on, I
Oh,
wasn't
that's
sure.
funny.
Wait a minute, you watched it 1 week ago?
Yeah, why?
You didn't wait 7 days.
Oh, come on. We're doing this shit?
Tell me you didn't watch it on tape.
I specifically watched it on tape to see if it would be any scarier.
Cheese and crackers, are you insane?
Oh, relax. I didn't even get a call from... Hello? 7 days.
I'm just
Scary
joking.
movie. The call's coming from inside the house. Malcolm and Tamara should eat my sweet buttery taint. I haven't extended my car warranty. Fuck! Malcolm, Tamara, these premium prices! My refrigerator's running. Oh my god, I better go catch it!
There it is. There it is.
Malcolm, Tamara, you doing this?
What are you talking about?
I had this idea years ago.
Oh, hey,
Mother
Simpsons.
wouldn't let
What
me
else
do
is
it.
on?
Shows how much she.
Hey, is that Wicker Man?
Hey, this is fun.
You know, I have still yet to watch Wicker Man.
I guess I never found the Ring that scary.
You're not the only one. Now, listen. Listen, I will say that when it comes to The Ring, I actually found the original Japanese version to be a little bit more freaky. I actually prefer it over the remake, the American remake. I know the American remake is like, you know, people bow down to it and stuff. It's like one of the best remakes of all time and one of the best, you know, American horror films of all time, or versions of like a Japanese, you know, you get what I'm saying. One of those kind of movies, and I just found it to be overall just fine. I was not terrified or scared by it. I really feel like the original one carried a bit more of an atmosphere with it, but it's not like it's a bad movie by any means. It just doesn't really hold up or come close to the original, in my personal opinion. But that's just me. I get why people love this film, but it didn't scare me. It just didn't. It didn't scare me at the end of the day. The Grudge from 2004 scared me more than the Ring remake, if I had to be honest.
With that said, I have learned to appreciate other aspects of it. Scary children are not a new thing in horror films, but the image of a little girl in a torn dress with hair covering her face has become an instant icon. You see this visual everywhere now, even in logos for other horror studios. Released in 2002 and based on the '98 Japanese film Ringu, I'll admit I didn't like Gore Verbinski's film when it first came out. Scary movies were not exactly the most subtle back then and relied way too much on bad CG effects.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted more quiet and subtle.
I love
frightened
13
films.
Ghosts, though.
Over
13
the years,
Ghosts is a
though,
gem.
We have gotten more of that variety, and looking back, I actually see this as a good segue to them. The Ring is a little slower and quieter compared to your average blockbuster horror flick. So I think it serves as a good transition from something like Jason X to something like Haunting of Hill House. But come on, is there really nothing that got under my skin with this movie? Am I really saying a visual this iconic couldn't possibly creep me out even a little?
Oh, look, she's in the movie Karen now.
There she is, slaving away in the kitchen.
Let's take a closer look at The Ring.
Ooh, human centipede is on.
It opens
Yeah,
with
torture.
two girls,
Torture.
Gore Verbinski and early 2000s puke green, everybody, who are giving away part of the film's commentary before the film even starts.
Yeah,
Television.
that's accurate.
All the molecules in our heads are all unstable. All the companies know about it, but they're not doing anything about it.
I remember when Candyman opened up with, "Hey, I think racism's still a thing." What am I talking about? It does now. To the film's credit, there's not a ton of commentary being hammered in. Actually, I think its most subtle take is about a half hour in. But we do get one small miracle. 2.5 hour running time, Gore Verbinski getting straight to the point.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it? You start to play it, and it's like somebody's nightmare.
It's called the Star Wars Holiday Special. Katie,
Accurate,
played by Amber
accurate.
Campbell, is told about the urban legend that when you watch the tape, you get a phone call saying you'll die in 7 days. Coincidentally, Katie happens
watched
to have
it
seen this
7
tape
days
exactly
ago.
7 days earlier.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's Gore Verbinski. I'm just glad they didn't have to take an hour sailing to figure that out.
Okay, yeah, I will. Okay, yeah, I will.
Okay, 2 points for not having anything behind the fridge. I think even the Chun music was shocked by that. Oh, sorry, my bad. There's always something there. Sure enough, weird shit does.
That always annoys me. Like, clearly, you just don't add any music. You don't have to add anything. You can just, do a fake out without having to be over the top dramatic or even throw in a jump scare. You can do that stuff. It builds it up even more, right? You're like, okay, so that wasn't, when is it gonna come, right? But if you start doing jump scares and stuff, it just feels like you're trying too hard, for even the smallest of things. There's no reason for it. And yeah, the puke screen, the green stuff, every film back then just looked like it had like a green tint over it. It was weird. It was unnecessary too. Saw, the original Saw, I think, had the same thing too.
Start happening as the TV turns on, her bedroom pisses itself, and Katie is killed via extreme close-up. Whoa! I love this movie knows the importance of few frame scares. Some of my favorite movies have few frame scares, because while the image alone can be frightening, showing only a glimpse, barely allowing you to comprehend what you just saw, leaves you even more uncomfortable. Same
Yeah.
thing here. That face is pretty creepy, but show it for only a split second? Yikes. I give credit too that this isn't just an unrelated kill. A lot of horror films start off with a random person being axed off just to show what the killer is capable of. But here, the death kickstarts the story, as Katie is the cousin of Aiden, who's the son of our lead, a journalist named Rachel, played by Naomi Watts. He's not adjusting well.
Miss Keller, I'm bothered by these drawings.
I mean, the composition, the color scheme, this is first grade material, and he's a second grade boy.
He's not the talkative type. That doesn't mean he has nothing to say.
Don't make me give you my Elizabeth Holmes stare. While we get ready for Katie's funeral, we discover the first big twist of the movie. She's raising a Culkin.
I don't have enough time. I'm talking about time before we die. Good night, Rachel.
All right, we already got one creepy
Good night,
kid
Rachel.
in this movie, and unless you want to wear a blue dress, we're keeping it that way. I'm also glad the movie has a lot of quiet moments. The original Ringu was great at building up this atmosphere of dread, and while I don't think this one does it quite as well, remember, most scary movies then had constant music and lame jump scares. Then. So I appreciate they let an uncomfortable moment just be an uncomfortable moment. Speaking of which, while Aiden tries not to be Cole from The Sixth Sense, Rachel comforts her sister, but is interrupted by one of the few legit jump scares I've seen in a movie.
I saw her face.
Oh, yeah.
You sure she didn't watch the holiday special? They did
Yeah.
the same shot in Ringu, but something I've discovered is while Ringu had better build-up, The Ring has better payoffs. This isn't bad, but this is a scary stories illustration. For a film
Yeah.
that's technically
Yeah, okay,
PG-13,
okay.
they get away with some pretty disturbing imagery.
It's about the tape.
What tape?
The one that kills you when you watch it.
Rachel finds out about the tape by talking to her friends, and she decides to do a story on it, whether her boss likes it or not.
Punctilious prick? You're
That's
fired.
fair.
No, I'm not. I'm cooking.
The payoff is better.
What is it?
Okay, I'm gonna ask Jeffrey Lebowski for his rent. She makes her way to where Katie and her now deceased friend saw the video, and uh-oh, I smell a Shyamalan character.
Hi, I was.
Take a card. Card?
No.
Damn.
Do you like hot dogs? What's your name and occupation? God, I need a quirk!
This is your card, right?
You like hot dogs, right?
You don't work here, do you? He shows her the only tapes they have on the grounds that Katie might have watched.
We bought tape players for videos.
Quite a selection.
Hey, nowadays that would be. She steals the one unmarked tape, goes to their
True,
cabin located
true.
by the 6 feet under tree, and puts on the mysterious VHS.
We have a massive VHS collection, though. Massive. Proud of it, too.
I know this is supposed to be scary, but honestly, it just looks like a college student's thesis film. If you don't get it, you don't get me. Sure enough, she gets a call.
Some of
telling
the
her
stuff,
bad
yeah,
news.
didn't.
Oh, how that means your ass is grass.
She goes to Noah, played by Martin Henderson, who's
She
a
kinda did sound like
video
Lilo.
photographer, something that clearly makes bank. He's also Aiden's father. Oh wait, we're not supposed to know that yet. It's a kind of pointless twist later. Don't worry, you wouldn't have been that surprised anyway.
Is this the same camera?
Scan the rest.
Oh, she put it on the System of a Down setting. She lets him watch the video, and you know this film would be gorgeous if it wasn't shot through a Listerine bottle. Okay, I'll admit, I tried to figure out more why the color green in horror films just doesn't scare me. Yes, like I said before,
I don't like
it's
it.
usually a relaxing color, but it can also be associated with sickness, mold, and disgusting stuff. But maybe that's it. There's a lot of creepy green things, but not that many creepy green places. There's a lot of creepy rooms that are brown. Blue is very common for night. Even red and yellow connects with alarming or uncomfortably hot scenarios. But unless you're in a medical environment or the woods during the day, green just isn't commonly associated with scary places. But I don't know, maybe that's why it's supposed to work. Like you wouldn't see that sickly color everywhere, so it throws you off. I just don't hear that many people saying, "Ooh, it's pretty dark and green around here." I know it's a personal preference, I just never got into it.
No, I never
What I do
did
get
either.
into is this clever scene where she sees 3 generations all doing the same thing, watching television. You could already argue there's a hint of commentary with this idea, you know, TV killing you and all. But just this moment with no dialogue of her noticing all these strangers of different ages are doing the exact same thing surprisingly says a lot more than the nail on the head conversation earlier. If you're looking for a way to kill a lot of people, having you watch something on TV that murders you sadly seems like a good way to do it. Speaking of which, after Noah watches the tape, he doesn't seem as spooked as Rachel.
4 people are dead.
Yeah, but like I said, not from
4
watching
people
the...
who watched it.
Come on, we watched it. We're hanging.
It takes a week.
There's a lot of homicidal prep that goes into
A
it.
week?
Making the call, checking that you even have a TV. Even that video took months and months of production labor to film. That's why every murder comes complete with closing credits. He helps her make a copy of the video so they can each study it on their own time, and man, this movie really is about the dead, because I haven't heard so much talk about VHS in my life.
The numbers of the control track, they're put on the tape whenever it's recorded.
Tracks totally shot. Servos can't line them up.
The makeup of the tracks is like a signature for whatever did the recording.
Totally analog. She'll read to the very edge of your tape.
So the control track could tell us where it came from.
Tracking, your monitor, your printer.
You sure this won't be a problem? We'll last forever. You sure this won't be a problem? We'll last forever. While looking closer at the tape, she realizes one of the more realistic parts might look a little too realistic. Little does she know that insect went through his own fly version of Stay Tuned? And by God, I want to hear that story! Hey, didn't you used to have a kid in this movie?
He learned the word conundrum.
Really?
Ah!
And then he drew my picture.
Yeah, bundle up and get on your winter hat for that rain. I guess maybe I should have
You
a
know
scene
it.
with you. The other kid's more marketable. Oh God, it's the ape from the Gainomax commercials. I've written bananas out of my diet. What more do you want? She wakes up to a shocking discovery, though. Aiden is watching the video.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Mom. You know my natural attraction to watching videos.
Yes, he
marked
did.
copy. No, seriously. Why didn't you hide that?
He didn't watch the tape.
Watch the tape.
Who watched it?
Our son.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that was supposed to be a twist. Do it again.
Our son.
I guess the halfway point is not a bad time to have a surprise, but I never got what it added to the story. Why was keeping that a secret in the grand scheme of things important? Hell, why is having him be the father important?
Drama.
It doesn't come that much into
Drama,
play.
for, you know,
All
a little
it
bit of
does
drama
is
in there.
excuse bad, awkward dialogue because I guess he's supposed to be a bad, awkward dad.
You wish I was around more?
You want to be around more?
I don't think I'd make a good father.
I was in a Britney Spears video for
Didn't
God's
even
sake.
try.
Though nowadays that might be a good thing. What do you think?
You know, at least if you're gonna be like a bad father, at least know that you're gonna be instead of not even trying. Like you didn't even try. You just said, I'm not gonna be a good dad. I'm just gonna be a deadbeat. You know, screw that. At least give it a shot. You might be good at it. You never know. But just guessing that you're not gonna be is not gonna help anybody.
By the way, thank you both for being so quiet. Sure.
You have a review to do.
You have a review to do.
Hey, can that still work?
Ah.
I'm bored. Let's see what's on.
Did you get fries from across the
Oh, Bob's Burgers.
Nice.
Did you bring Jimmy Pesto's fries into my restaurant?
Oh, I love this scene. Keep an eye on Teddy's reaction.
Where's Teddy?
Just above her navel.
I know what I'm doing.
That was a good reaction.
I got my own process, Bob.
His stare. His stare. Back to the review. All right, baby.
Rachel discovers where the creator of the video might be, so she travels via ferry, but Noah has something important to give her. In the rain.
Yeah, it's gonna get wet.
If you take it even slower, even more water will get on it.
Yeah, I know they're trying to be dramatic, but come on now, put it. It's gonna get
Don't
ruined.
like your son.
I don't.
Okay.
It's gonna get ruined.
While on the ferry, a horse gets loose. I don't know. Why not try to make a horse scary? And seems to be chasing after Rachel. I'm gonna be the TriStar logo. Dun-dun! Aw, shit. And call me a sick bastard, but I find this part really funny. Maybe it's that we're suddenly supposed to care about this animal that was trying to kill the lead. Or maybe it's that when this girl screams, it almost sounds like the boat is screaming too. Whoa, poor horsey! Whoa. Or maybe it's that it cuts to the ring for a split second. As if we're supposed to be like, oh, that's what caused
why,
it.
yeah.
I thought he heard he was going to be in another Spirit sequel or something.
Well, that's kind of what I guessed too. It was like
There's a
spiritual.
man named Mr. Morgan, played by Brian Cox, who may have some answers to what's going on.
What is it with reporters? We take one person's tragedy and force the world to experience it.
I feel the same way when they greenlight a Raja Gosnell movie. He doesn't give her much, but thankfully Aiden is a sort of psychic.
Why did you draw that house?
She told me to. The little girl.
So she's still...
She lives in a dark place now.
Seriously, just because you're a horror film doesn't mean you automatically need a kid who sees paranormal stuff.
Nope, you don't. But
She
hey,
eventually finds out that the little
The
girl
Shining
was a
did it
mental
best.
patient named Samara, played by DeVay Chase, and she was the daughter of Mr. Morgan.
Your daddy loves you.
Daddy loves the horses.
Whoa, now we know who Bojack's father really is. Speaking of which, Mr. Morgan sees her watching the video and devises a pretty inventive way of killing himself. There's no tall buildings where these people live. They go back to the cabin where the tape was watched and try searching for answers.
God, the cord just scared me.
Aha, an arrow. It seems to be pointing towards, or maybe it's what's under the arrow. Well, well, well.
Literally well.
I should be Aiden's father. I'm already making dad jokes. Oh, it looks like the rodent from Mouse Hunt is at it again. Oh my god, wouldn't that be a Verbinski twist crossover? Again, I know this is supposed to be scary, but Rachel getting knocked down the well with a TV. Christ, I can't even say that sentence without giggling.
Oh, that's horrible.
Jesus, is this The Ring or Scary Movie 3? These scenes are hilarious. Rachel finds Samara's body and discovers her mother tried to kill her, but she was left alive to slowly starve in, you guessed it, 7 days.
You're gonna bury her next week. It's over.
I'm saying that in a horror film, so you know it's legit.
It's over.
Sometimes children yell or cry or draw pictures.
This one made a video from beyond the grave. Kids.
Hell yeah.
Dead kids.
That's what I do.
You know, this
That's
whole
what I
searching
do.
for a dead child while ignoring our own has really brought us closer together. And thus we get to, let's face it, the real reason you all remember this movie. Surprise endings in horror films are a dime a dozen, but this one left a pretty big impact. It's revealed that finding Samara's body, well, didn't do shit.
You helped her?
What's wrong, honey?
You weren't supposed to help her.
Yeah, it's not about the dead finding justice so they can sleep in peace like it was building up. Nope. It's just an angry, bitter bitch who wants to spread her misery to as many people as possible. And she does so in the most memorable effect of the movie. I'll admit, even though I wasn't finding this film that scary, this got a big reaction out of me. If you told me in a movie there was a scene where a ghost steps through a TV, that wouldn't really scare me. But the build-up is what makes it work. None of the other effects in the film were like this. It was surprisingly pretty light on the CG scares. So all it takes is a creative way to go a step further beyond what you're used to seeing. Even Samara we haven't seen a ton of, and we technically haven't seen her as a ghost. There was that one moment in the dream, but that's about it. So there's a mystery to what's behind that creepy long hair, and what exactly she can do. Also remember, most of the scares are on the video. The screen is the barrier that can't be crossed. So when it's suddenly broken through, and with really clever texture effects with her being low res and glitchy all over the place, it's very jarring. It's like crossing the bridge in Sleepy Hollow or when the tent is snapped open in Sixth Sense.
I can agree with that,
Those are the
yeah.
areas that are supposed to be safe, and suddenly they're obliterated. So yeah, despite most of the film just being okay, it really knew how to stick the landing. Rachel puts together that the reason she survived is because she made a copy and showed it to her son. So she has him do the same thing.
Yep.
What about the person we show it to? What happens to them?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Ruth insulted my shoes last week. She can die.
Don't worry about
And that was The Ring. Not a great film, but it's got some great stuff in it.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of scary movies of the past and present,
It's one of the better
does
ones,
take
yeah.
its time to build
One of
up
the better
its
remakes.
scares in ways that are either effective enough or downright awesome. There's also something uniquely retro that it's a VHS that curses everybody. I'm not gonna lie, I actually went out of my way to get a VHS of this movie and watch it on a VCR to see if it was
That's
creepy.
so cool. I
And you know
respect
what?
that.
It kinda was. I think that's a sign the film is clearly working. While at times it can be dull and not always make sense, its payoffs are memorable and the premise has the makings of a classic urban legend. While I certainly wouldn't call it one of the scariest movies ever made, there's definitely a reason it quickly became iconic. And seeing how this image is still all over the place, it looks like it's gonna stay that way for a long time. Now where'd I put that remote? Oh.
Smart.
Oh, shit, she's
got it.
the remote.
What are we gonna do now?
The fridge? Oh, fridge. Okay. Okay. My refrigerator's
My
running.
refrigerator was running.
Maybe you should be a dad.
This is your card, right?
Okay, thank you for reviewing that, Doug. Yeah, The Ring was a good remake. I think there's a lot of moments that really stick out to me. You know, specifically like the Brian Cox offing himself scene. That used to freak me out. I saw this movie probably back in 2016, 2017. It was like right after high school. I went over to my friend's house, and we all sat down and watched it. You know, I said I've never seen it, so we all sat down and watched it. You know, they introduced me to 13 Ghosts, The Ring, and oh gosh, what is it? Gothica. The Ring was a good movie. It was a solid movie. It's not one I can go back and rewatch all the time. Certain moments that, you know, don't really work for me. Again, the green thing that, you know, back in the early 2000s, for some reason that green lens thing that they used to do, I just didn't care for it. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't creep me out. It just kind of an odd decision to do. But getting back to the whole movie, Samara was very unsettling, very creepy. I'd say she's probably a little more creepy in the American remake than she was in the original Japanese version. Not saying she wasn't creepy, she still was, obviously. And yeah, the payoffs are definitely better in the remake than they were in the original one. The original one definitely had some good payoff in there. I actually do really enjoy the scene where they find Samara's body in the well. It made me very emotional, made me sad for Samara and all that stuff. It's a good remake. That's what I'll say. It's a good remake, but I still, yes, prefer the original Japanese Ringu over The Ring. And I do have a movie reaction for Ringu up on the channel now. If you guys want to go check that out, you guys can. I definitely recommend you do. Let me know what you guys thought. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Nostalgia Critic reactions. I'll do more, as if this video gets up to 50 likes, I will post more Nostalgia Critic reactions. So just get it up to 50 likes and I'll do more. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll check you out in the next video. Keep it retro. Do take care.